We have some major breaking news on the MMA front. Fred Richani, TSC. Nate Diaz has released a statement that I don't think is a publicity stunt because I don't know why you'd want this kind of publicity. I don't think this is a work. I don't think this is April Fool's joke. It ain't April. It's October, folks. Nate Diaz just released a statement on Twitter claiming that he has elevated levels, or that USADA is saying he has elevated levels of a substance. He thinks it was a tainted substance, and that he is off UFC 244, meaning the highly anticipated fight, the fight fans' dream fight of Street Jesus Jorge Masvidal versus the king of Stockton, Nate Diaz, is officially off. Now, that's what Nate Diaz says. We haven't heard anything from UFC yet. We haven't heard anything from USADA yet. But I'll just read you this statement here. I'm not going to make it out to NYC to fight week next week because they say I tested with elevated levels that they say might be from some tainted supplements. I call false on that because I only take whole food or natural food supplements. I don't even eat meat. So until UFC, USADA, or whoever whoever's effing with me fixes it, I won't be competing. I'm not going to play their game and try and hide it and keep quiet as they suggest. I'm not going to have my name tainted as a cheater like these other MFers who keep quiet until after the fight just so they can get paid. Effing cheaters. I don't give an F about some money over my dignity and my legacy. I'm not playing along with this BS. I'm not staying quiet and figuring it out after the fight. That's cheating. So fight game, I'll see you when I see you. Sincerely, the baddest MFer in the game. Wow. Now here's the thing. I'm not going to speculate on what happened here, but I will say this. There's a couple things you guys should know. He's on a fight. Nate Diaz, who I've believed has been clean his entire career, I think so anyway, is on the same team as Jake Shields, who was tested positive before, and on the same team as Gilbert Melendez, who I believe was suspended by USADA before. So without even being a fan, whether you're a fan or not of Nate Diaz, if you could say, well, if two prominent people are using PEDs on his team or did in the past, who's to say he didn't at one point, right? But you also have the other side of the spectrum. There have been plenty of cases where there's been tainted supplements, shady supplements. I mean, look at Yoel Romero. He won his case. There was the most infamous one, Tom Lawler, who never took any supplements or anything, according to him, and a guy who was largely believed to be clean his entire career, failed for tiny traces of Osterine. Tiny traces of Osterine. Couldn't get an appeal. Got suspended for 2 years. Couldn't get a release to fight anywhere. And then UFC released him less than 2 years later. So they kept him on ice, and then they just released him. So, and then of course there's John Jones, who a lot of people believe is not clean at all. And he keeps getting pass after pass after pass. So what am I trying to say here? This USADA thing is a mess, and I'm inclined to think of Nate Diaz as innocent until proven guilty. And kudos to him for coming out and getting ahead of this story. But in the meantime, this sucks for his wallet. This sucks for poor Jorge Masvidal. This could have been a star-making performance for him coming off of that Ben Askren fight. This could have been the fight that catapults him into title contention. This would have been life-changing money for this longtime veteran. And instead, if we are to believe what Nate Diaz says, and again, I have not received any official press release or anything from the UFC just yet. If we are to believe that this fight is indeed off, this sucks for everybody, including us, the fans. And well, who you got to move up? I mean, this isn't any other fight. This is November 2nd, live at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world, New York City, pay-per-view. Kelvin Gastelum and Darren Till's your main event. Kelvin Gastelum, Darren Till's your main event. I mean, I guess you could move the one of the main events from the next pay-per-view, which is absolutely stacked, that has Usman versus Covington, Holloway versus Volkanovski, and Nunes versus Durandamy. But here's the thing. All three of them are training for 5-round fights. Those fights are supposed to take place Saturday, December 14th. You're going to ask these people to move their training camp up and come in on short notice? I mean, unless you could pull some Daniel Cormier, Derek Lewis type miracle like last year, I think UFC 244 is damn near screwed. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about this crazy breaking news? What do you think about Nate Diaz saying, F the UFC, F USADA, I'm getting in front of the story? Let me know. Leave a comment below if you enjoyed this update, or I guess hated this update because it sucks for us fans. Please click the like button, share this with all your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. Please feel free to check out our WB2K review that was just posted. It's full of glitches and got more problems than USADA. Until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the fights, and hopefully Nate Diaz's case, this gets sorted out, because this just sucks. Truly.